S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Shadow of Chernobyl. A game and eventually a series that has always piqued my interest. Plus, you know, Stalker 2 is coming out soon and it looks tasty. But let's dial it back. All the way to the first game in the series where it all started. If you don't count the prequel. Set in a world similar to our own, but instead of the Chernobyl disaster that happened in 1986, what if it disastered twice? But also there's faction warfare, strange anomalies in the world that are definitely out to kill you. Oh, and cool rocks that give you superpowers. Or radiation. Unsurprisingly, there's a shit ton of radiation around these parts. So much so that some of the local wildlife, and in some cases humans, got a bit too fried and are, get this shit, definitely out to kill you. The whole zone is like this. I mean shit, there's weather changes that can cause storms that will wipe your brain hard drive if you're caught without shelter. Now I know all that sounds pretty bleak, but hear me out. I've been wanting to play this game to completion for over a year now because the lore and story scratches something fun in my brain. Plus the immersion and ambiance of the zone is mwah. It's also just fun to fuck around and find out in this game. So let's get out there and find the fuck out about what's going on in the zone. On the open road during a shit night somewhere in Europe, just casually riding around with some interesting cargo. We're just gonna gloss over that part and worry about what was I talking about? It was probably important, but I can't seem to remember. Probably because we've caught a nasty case of amnesia. Ooh, fun. We have literally no clue of who we are or where we've been. All we have is our handy-dandy PDA with a very simple instruction. Kill the Strelok. Cool. Who or what even the fuck is that? The folks that found us also don't seem to know, but we're in debt now.
Bullshit.
Just like in real life. But if we help out Kentucky Fried and friends here, they may or may not have some connections that may or may not help. Mayhaps even. That's the long and short of it. We're now free to do what we want, to an extent. Explore the area, figure out the mysteries of the zone, or just get blasted point blank and lose a shit ton of progress because the autosave in this game is from 2007. And a bit shit. This is going to happen a lot. Especially while we're stuck with this fucking super soaker. It's fine. We'll get past it. Just gotta unalive a few bandits and steal their shit. Trust me, I need your shit more than you do, bud. I'm the protagonist. AKA, the marked one. Like, we literally have the game's title tattooed on our arm, so you'll be hearing a lot of marked one when talking to NPCs. It's an acronym for scavengers, trespassers, other words that don't super matter. And if one of these many words apply, then you're a stalker of the zone. But usually anyone here fits about, the whole bill. After helping out the locals with some bandits, we save this guy, and get back a flash drive that Meatman asked us to help out with. Only to follow up with another fetch quest. The starting quests are kinda lame at first, but trust me, it gets good. I swear. We're tasked with finding a briefcase containing info about the zone itself and take it to someone by the name of Barman at the 100 Rats bar just past the garbage. The naming in this game is fucking peak. We've also been told rumors about Strelok and someone who's got some better info on him. I suppose I ain't got anything better to do, and my calendar is completely cleared since I can't remember it in the first place. It's a bit of a walk, but there's plenty of sights to see. We have the beautiful yet slightly radioactive countryside, home to some of the most interesting wildlife. There's wild boar, blind dogs, this thing. It's called a flesh. Don't worry, I hate it too. There's also bandits, mercenaries, and the military, unsurprisingly. In an area littered with potentially rare and highly sought-after items, there's bound to be folks and factions wanting some of that sweet, sweet artifact power for various reasons. But probably money. And if I'm being honest, I want some of that tasty loot too. Gimme, gimme. 30 minutes later of running, shooting, and more running, we find what we're looking for. Some dude named Mole, who can point us in the direction of Strelok's stash and conveniently a way to sneak into a military compound and find the briefcase that Sidorovich, aka Meatman, wants. Let me just clear these dudes out who have our guy pinned down. Mole thanks us, of course, and then says something along the lines of, "Hey, see that hole over there? Strelok's stash is in there somewhere, and it's gonna suck absolute ass to get to it. And once you have that, it's gonna suck just as much ass getting out of that hellhole. Good luck." He wasn't wrong. This place is crawling with well-armed enemies, painful to the touch anomalies. Oh, and this freaky bitch! This is a bloodsucker. They're bastards that literally want to suck your blood. I don't know what amount of radiation would cause this, but it's frightening. And it's not the only mutant lurking down here. There's also this brain deleter, a controller. At a distance, terrifying. Up close, still terrifying, but can't really do anything to defend itself. After sorting through some of Strelok's shit and finding a flash drive, we still need to get out of this hellhole and secure the vague briefcase. Now we could make this a proper sneaking mission, or just shoot everything that moves, grab some loot, and leave with what we came here for. I chose the loot goblin option. We drop off the briefcase with the literal barman, and he responds with, "Ah yes, good, information on getting further into the zone, but we still need more information." Want to break into a lab? Fuck yeah, I do. We're setting out for the Dark Valley, where Lab 18 supposedly resides. We have to shoot, loot, and scoot through more bandits, only to find out we have to wash, rinse, and repeat when we find the actual lab's location. After the ruckus we caused upstairs, the tone shifts drastically once we enter the lab. It's like a haunted house attraction. It even comes with almost actual poltergeists. Ooh, spooky floating boxes, so scary. And fire. It does set the mood and makes the lighting in here look insanely good for 2007. What the fuck was that? Oh shit, it's a snork! I fucking love-hate snorks. Fun fact, the only reason I know about the Stalker games is because I saw an image of these freaky little shits and I had to know more about what the fuck this creature even was. Saw they were from a game vaguely similar to Fallout, but it was actually good? Yeah, I fucking said it. And now here we are, trapped in a broken down lab being hunted by two snorks in the dark. Good times. Now we just need to unshit our pants and smoke these fucking gremlins. Nice. I grabbed a code off of a corpse to break further into the lab, only to be stopped again by the exact same door and code puzzle. But this time we have to deal with a mix of electric orb mutants and one pissed off pseudo-giant who's been stomping around so loud and fierce that it's actually scary walking around in here knowing something real mean is lurking in here with me and I can't see shit. Grabbing the second code from another dead ecologist while also grabbing a bit of loot, including this sick-ass rocket launcher that I wish I found while fighting that big meatball. I'm sure we'll find a use for it later. For now, we have to worry about whatever the hell is behind door number 2. You think it's friendly? You know, that went better than expected. Diving in even further, there's a ton of goodies and probably some sort of boss fight if I had to guess. Yep, a fireball mini-boss that summons mini fireballs. But it's no match for my new rocket launcher. Turns out, fighting fire with big explosive fire, indoors, isn't the best option. After defeating it again, we get a little head-hurty and pass out. We're then thrown into a vision of some hillbilly shooting vermin on his property. We almost catch a glimpse of their face, only to be cut off by one name. Strelok. Kinda weird to have memories of this potential Strelok fella. We must know him somehow. There's no time for that though, because unsurprisingly the military is, still fucking pissed about that raid on the compound and that someone broke into this lab for these documents. And now we have to fight our way out of this tin can. Once we're back on ground level, we have to make a break for the road heading towards the starting area since the military are heavily guarding the way we just came from. Sidorovich told us about the military flocking into the dark valley here and requests us to pay a visit, only to be nosy and then look over the documents we just grabbed and goes, "Cool, thanks. You gotta still take it to bar, man." One long jog later, we're stopped by my curiosity because, is that Sasuke's voice actor?
Come in, don't stand there.
Huh. Neat. Anywho, barkeep. I can't read the Cyrillic alphabet, nor the English one, so can you give me a brief summary on why I'm doing this and what's going on? Sidorovich and barkeep here want to open up the north part of the zone, but haven't been able to crack the code on how to get in there due to the quote-unquote brain scorcher. It's a man-made experimental emitter that, well, scorches your brain if you were to get close enough to it. Which is kinda why it's very hard to get into the center of the zone. Its components were made in the lab we just came from and were shipped to a different lab, which is our next task, locating Lab 16. Word has it that some scientists nearby said lab know its true whereabouts. And again, cleared, calendar, and loot. There will probably be loot. Oh, and maybe I'll figure out what to do with Strelok's flash drive. Or I'll forget about it entirely and it'll sort itself out. After a bit of stocking up and getting some much-needed upgrades, we find ourselves in the middle of a faction warfare between some mercenaries and the ecologists. Conveniently, the dudes we're looking for. Great! The part that's not so great is that some dickhead shot the lead ecologist here. God damn it. Luckily, we can just loot his body and it'll ping on my PDA where we need to go exactly. Thank fuck for that. I thought this was gonna be an issue. I think I found a new issue. Is that a zombie? Yup, new faction unlocked. Zombified. They never flinch while being shot and will sometimes fall to the ground and flail around like John Marston trying to swim. They're also surrounding the makeshift mobile lab that has our scientist contacts within. I'm sure that won't be a problem. After selling off, like, a shit ton of artifacts to make
loads of money,
we tell the professor here about the situation and he's willing to help. He has a brain unmelter prototype device, but it needs some additional parts from Lab 16 to work. But they haven't been able to get into it due to the emissions being cast out from the lab itself. Also, we gotta have this guy tag along. We're not even 50 feet from the door. This is just embarrassing. It's like when you're a kid and you have to tell your mom you fucked up. Professor, I threw it up.
why did he die?
So, now we gotta find a way into the lab solo. Apparently, there's another dead ecologist somewhere in the swamp out back, and he had the info on the lab. I don't know, but there's more SNORKS here, so that's kinda cool. Found the body, got the info, and now we gotta fight our way into the lab's entrance. And shockingly, we gotta fight our way through Lab 16 itself. But hey, more SNORKS. I really do love these lab sections. Even entering through the main gate above ground is a bit spine-chilling as you sneak through and work your way into the lab's entrance. It's not like a full-blown horror game, but it hits a really good balance of spooky, but on-edge fun. Plus the lighting, ambiance, and immersion here is just too fucking good. We finally come face to face with not exactly the brain scorcher, but like a mini scorcher. A big mini scorcher. Either way, it definitely wasn't helping out folks from becoming deep-fried zombies in this area, so it's gotta go. Plus, that wacky little timer that just popped up is how long we have before my brain becomes spaghetti. Hitting switches and shooting bitches all the way up this big-ass machine, and done. Easy peasy. Can't wait to... Oh, fuck, I'm blacking out again.
If you only knew where I've just been and what I saw.
We finally get to see the face to who we could presume is Strelok, and his recent findings that he just came back with from probably close to center of the zone. He's warned by his doctor friend that it'll be his undoing if he keeps pushing his luck, and yeah, but that don't look too good. Strelok, much like myself, is a dirty loot goblin and is like, nah, fuck it, we're going again. But almost seems slightly off compared to the start of this vision.
If you only knew.
Weird that I keep having visions and or memories of Strelok. Come to think of it, I feel like I've seen that face before. I'll just save that one for later. Still gotta get out of this creepy fucking place. One more controller fight later, we stumble upon an exit. But also, we find the body of a specific stalker by the name of Ghost, who has a recording talking about Strelok and how he's gone missing. I gloss over it because loot. Got something from the barman and a brand new suit that I'm ready to flaunt all the way out of this fucking tunnel. We just gotta get through this pseudo-giant fight where my gun jammed point fucking blank and I about shit both mine and your pants. Thanks for the brain de-spaghettier here, Professor. I'm sure I'll put it to good use. Probably loot-related. Back at the bar, barman says it's time to head to the real brain scorcher and shut that shit down now that we're, well, not properly equipped, but as good as it's gonna get with this prototype. We're basically walking in there with tinfoil on our head and hoping for the fucking best. We're given the coordinates to the bunker where we can shut down the brain hurting machine and fully open the whole zone and finally figure out what lies at the center. I hope it's loot. Please, please let it be loot. Spoilers, it's radiation. While traveling there, we're stopped by more faction warfare between the groups known as Duty and Freedom. One wants the zone gone, and the other, fuck it. Let whoever do whatever, man. I stay entirely neutral here, but I did figure out a way to make both sides fight each other while also being the initiator, and neither side had a fucking clue. I'm literally in the middle of a war zone right now and neither side is aimed at me. I made out like a filthy fucking rat here, so much so that I got a brand new fucking exosuit. I can't seem to sprint now, which is tragic, but I can hold a ton of shit. Plus the extra protection will be helpful against the entirety of the new faction drop, Monolith. These crazy cultists hate everything and everyone that even tries to sneak into the center of the zone. They do not care what your reasoning is, you do not pass go, you do not collect $200, and you certainly aren't figuring the fuck out what secrets the zone holds. They'll stop at nothing to keep you out, including the use of a rocket launcher. This is just their welcoming party. It gets worse. Oh, and here in the Red Forest where they reside, radiation is, what's the word? Bad. Half the usable cover here in this area is pumping out waves that'll completely cook a hot pocket all the way through first fucking try. Either that or give it sentience. Granted, we're nearing the original power plant that exploded in our actual timeline with each zone we progress through. And I think it's starting to show. Am I supposed to be seeing ghost snorks? I don't think that's normal. Also, why is everything kind of pissy? After slaughtering a fair 50-ish monolith goons, we find the entrance to the bunker where that 50-ish number probably dips closer to 100-ish. But not before more spooky lab segments in which invisible bloodsuckers are hiding throughout. And I'm running out of ammo. I'm not shitting, you're shitting. Fucking finally. Pulling the plug on this big microwave. Now it's... oh, god damn it, not again. Now this time is a bit more jarring. There's this, I don't know what you would call this thing. Crystallized Baja Blast? If that were the case, I get why Strelok would be reaching out for it. But then we're struck with more flashes. I don't know if it's apparent already for y'all, but, we kinda look similar to this seemingly Strelok fella, don't we? It's almost as if...
What you want is here, Stalker. Come.
I think the radiation is finally taken over. But like, hear me out. Maybe the voice in our new goal of sneaking into the sarcophagus has what we want. It does say Wish Granter down there in the bottom left. So, that kind of kicks ass. Just gotta up that monolith body count real quick as we get the fuck out of here. While that's happening, I have so many questions. And you probably do too if you're new here to the zone. Who's the Wish Granter? What's the sarcophagus? Why do we look like Strelok? And how come his hairline looks like Florida? In order, the Wish Granter is a myth of the zone, although it's looking to be less of a myth now. It can supposedly grant wishes. That's fucking dope. The sarcophagus, pulling this straight from the wiki, is the name of the steel and concrete structure built around the destroyed reactor Unit 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. I didn't even know this was a real structure before playing this game, if we're being honest. Reminder, basic Ohio education. And spoilers on the Strelok situation, we are Strelok. And no amount of wish granting is gonna fix that busted ass hairline. Probably. Just get a wig, bud, it'll be fine. Now that we're out, I'm gonna top off our ammo supply because we're gonna fucking need it. What we just did was, I would consider a test run. We're heading into the city filled to the brim with many different flavors of factions, and it's probably not gonna be pretty. Not really any other option to get to the center of the zone, so pack your Stalker lunchbox with the necessities. You know, half a bread loaf, part of a chewed-on sausage, a slightly radioactive energy drink maybe. Really gives it that extra kick. And wash that all down with a whole bottle of vodka. Luckily, we find a group of duty members that are more than willing to have us join them in this downtown assault. Bullets literally raining from down the street, out the windows, and even the rooftops. And like, surprisingly, our group of part-time allies here are actually doing a decent job of not dying. Thank fuck for that, because everyone figured out that the brain scorcher is down and the city is wide open. We managed to get through the initial brunt of the city and dive deeper into the more spaced out sections that... What the fuck was that? I heard an NPC mention a Gauss rifle in passing, but like... Huh? Turns out, real shit. These snipers scattered throughout the city all have Gauss rifles. As far as I can tell, I can't really get to the rooftops, so no Gauss rifle drops for us. Yet. Alright, home stretch. Just gotta get through this stadium filled with monolith goons, very powerful anomalies, oh, and pseudo-giants. Plural. We need a game plan. Could try running around the ring and get Gauss rifled. Maybe try and combat the rockets from a distance. Or just run through the center of this clusterfuck and hope for the best. I think we got a 1 in a million shot there, and I'm not complaining. Not until the next part, at least. So we're here on the grounds in front of the Chernobyl power plant, and we've got absolute fucking chaos surrounding us. I don't even know if this is just monolith crazies, or if it's like an actual faction warfare happening. But they all seem to fucking hate me specifically. There's also another timer until a blowout occurs while a bunch of different folks are screaming at me in Russian. Fuck it, we're sending it. He's going the distance. He's picking up speed. The 50, the 40, 30. He's gonna do it. Home run or something. I don't know sports and it fucking shows. Go blue team, go! In all seriousness, holy fuck, that sucked every bit of ass within a 5-mile radius. And by some crazy feat, we've made it to the sarcophagus. Not sure if it's safe to be in here, especially with that constant and concerning ticking noise I keep hearing. And if you think this is a sensory nightmare, just wait for the added bonus of constant gunfire while a booming voice is yelling something about cum in Russian.
Будет только один.
This is actual torture. But it's all gonna pay off once I get my wish. Huh. Would you look at that? Crystallized Baja Blast again. I mean, it makes sense with what we saw earlier in the visions leading up to this point. We'll talk about that later, trust me. After my wish, of course.
I want to be rich.
So, yeah. The wish granter is just an asshole. This is some genie wish granting horse shit mixed with a monkey's paw effect. I mean, again, it kind of makes sense with what we saw in the visions. Strelok seemingly made it here once before, only to end up being tasked to unalive himself after being brainwashed. Similarly to the Monolith faction, it seems. But we pulled a Goku and it seemed to rewrite the brainwashing. There's still a couple of loose threads that we haven't gone over, but like, this game is usually pennies during a Steam sale, so you can figure out the rest. Or a lore video, there's tons of them, trust me. Backtracking to our, unfortunate fate, this isn't the only bad ending here that can be achieved. Your options are being crushed to death, like we got, turned into a statue. Okay. Oh, and blinded! Cool! There are a few more shit options here, but in case there's some of you that actually want to play this game for yourself, I won't spoil them. Besides, we've got some unfinished business. We're going back in there and we're gonna get the true ending while cracking some skulls. A quantum fuck ton of skulls. Hold my Stalker branded energy drink. Much like the Wish Granter, we're just gonna fucking cheat. You think you can just get away with screaming at me in Russian about coming for the last 45 minutes and then trick me? I've got some tricks too, like this Gauss rifle door glitch. There is a way to legitimately do this through a quest line, but like, this is funnier. Plus, I'm kind of on a time crunch. Stalker 2 comes out in like November, so let's get it going, Scooter. I don't know who's running things around here, but I want to speak with the manager. Hello? Ah, I see you had a backup plan. Either that or I just broke the game. Hey, what's going on? We're Sea Consciousness. We kind of run shit around here. What exactly are you? We're like a common consciousness between a bunch of scientists that join together in the efforts of controlling the zone. And people? No. Anywho, like we said, we're trying to control the zone, otherwise it'll continue to spread across the entire planet. Right. How's that going? Remember the second disaster? About that well. Cool. We also made that Wish Granter thing, so that's kinda cool, right? I'm gonna break out of here now. Good luck with whatever kooky egg-headed bullshit you got cooked up. You're gonna need it. Hold on now, hear us out. You wanna join us instead? Yeah, let me think about that. Normally, this door would be an issue. Good thing I thought ahead and prepped my hidden second Gauss rifle jutsu. God damn, I'm on fire right now. No, really, is it hot out here, or is that just the radiation mixed with the open flames finally getting to me? Or maybe it's the multiple gunshot wounds I've been stuffing medkits into that's doing it. I'm probably 50% gauze and painkillers right now. The other 50% is radiation. Sea Consciousness didn't take too kindly to us declining their offer of joining them, so they sent waves upon waves of shitters, and I'm gonna gauss every one of them. And I'm gonna save scum the entire way to their lair. Our final gauntlet fight has us mowing down even more monolith soldiers, a couple of well-placed SNORKS, and portals. Yeah, legitimately, we're traveling via portal right now, and it's kind of fucking sick. The game is kind of getting out of hand here, and I fucking love it. After, I don't know, an hour to 2 hours of constant gunfire, radiation, and SNORKS, we finally come face to face with the true big bad of the zone. A couple of scientists in tubes. I don't know if big bad is the correct title, but they're definitely not good. Not exactly final boss material, so instead, Strelok just takes the wheel and unloads a full magazine into them to finally rid the zone of its potential controller. And somehow, still alive after all this shit that we just blasted through. Strelok just takes it all in and contemplates whether or not he did the right thing. But at the very least, he made it into the center of the zone, found out its secrets, and made it out alive, which few stalkers can say they've done. Hey, look at that. The zone is open. Well, shit, now what do we do? Follow your instincts? Shit, say less. It's time to loot until Stalker 2 comes out.